And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the longest race of the season here in the Snickers Cup Series. We're getting ready for what can very easily be called an endurance race. This is the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's also the race where Memorial Day is here. I know that this is coming out after Memorial Day, but hey, this is the Coca-Cola 600, and incredibly enough, the NNSCRA race season has somehow caught up to what the regular Sprint Cup Series was at. And we are here for the Coke 600 under the lights. 60-lap event. I can guarantee you, probably in no other events this season will we run this many laps in a race, no matter what series it is. So this is going to be a big one for these guys to try and win. It'll be a pretty good thing to put on their resume if they're able to take the checkers here tonight. Callum Wales lines up on the inside of the front row in the Quicken Loans Chevrolet. You can see he's got the Stars and Stripes paint scheme. Alongside of him, another car and yet another Memorial Day tribute car. That is Anthony McCurry in the Committed Mass Murder with a Spoon Toyota Camry. Then you got Eric Burton. He'll line up on the inside of row number 2 in his Subway Ford, and alongside of him in the U.S. Army Ford is going to be his teammate from Roush Fenway Racing, Cole Daly, who actually moved his way up to second in points last week at Supercell. Tonight we're getting ready for all these drivers to take the green flag, just about all of them with some kind of patriotic scheme on their car. Some of them do not have one though, but you can bet every one of these drivers, they're racing out there to put on a great show in honor of our veterans, our current military, both home and abroad, and everything else to do with this great country that we live in. So, without further ado, let's go down trackside for the official pre-race ceremony.
just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen!
There is the command to fire these engines up. These cars are now going to roll off, and they're going to complete a couple pace laps. And while they do that, we are going to show you the starting lineup for tonight's event, the Coca-Cola 600, just moments away from going green here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Gonna have to keep an eye on Michael Norman in this field. He's the one coming in with the momentum after he picked up the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race last week at M&M's Super Speedway. He also comes into this race 15th in points, so if he could win tonight, that could move him up into the top 10 in standings. You're going to see a lot of drivers make moves now that could help them get into the chase later on in the season, as here we go. The green flag and the Coke 600 is out and we're underway. Let's see who's going to survive for 60 laps here at Charlotte. Callum Wales going to take the lead out of turn number 2. Moves up in front of Anthony McCurry. Now Eric Burton along with another Ford behind him and Trent Whitney. They're going to look down to the bottom of the racetrack. Keep in mind, Eric Burton won the Truck Series race here. So he knows how to get around this racetrack. But the question is, does he have a strategy to be able to be up here at the end of 60 laps instead of 20, which is what we ran in the Truck Series? Here comes Trent Whitney down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to try and look for the lead. Help there from 2 rookies. That's Austin Ogo and James Silverfox. Trent Whitney kind of sliding up through that corner there. He might have been a little loose through turns 3 and 4, but he will get the lead at the line. He is going to lead that lap. Austin Ogo right behind him. Silver Fox also behind him. And then there's that Stars and Stripes paint scheme for the 51 of Jay Silver Fox as Eric Burton's in the wall. Eric Burton just lost a fistful of spots as he got up into the outside retaining wall off turn 2. And now he's getting bypassed. I think that's for 8th place by Tim Walsh. That lap going to be led by rookie Austin Ogo, former winner of the season, won at Castle Gorge. Now trying to look for his second win of the season is now James Silverfox, and James McLeod are going to bypass him for that position. Both the Roush Fenway cars got the wall that time, Eric Burton and Cole Daly. Meanwhile up front, James Silverfox in the Transformer Chevrolet out of Tommy Baldwin Racing. He's about to get a challenge down low. It's going to be a James versus James here into turn number 1. Silverfox led that lap, but here comes McLeod down to the bottom looking for the lead. The HendrickCars.com Star Fox Chevrolet out of Tweenix Racing. Looking for the top spot. Adam Chambers right underneath him. Good hard racing here early on. We'll step aside for a commercial break and be right back.
When I was little, I wanted to grow up and help people.
When I was young, I wanted to save lives.
I wanted to make a difference in the world.
When I was growing up, I wanted to serve my country.
My name is Captain Shawnce Tarrant, Air Force physician.
I'm Airman First Class Ashley Denton, Air Force firefighter.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Gail Crawford, Air Force JAG.
I'm Captain Cynthia Nogueras, and I'm an American Airman.
Welcome back to the Coca-Cola 600. You didn't miss a whole lot. Few drivers took turns at the front, including James McLeod, Adam Chambers, and now Tim Walsh. McLeod actually got a piece of the wall a moment ago. That slipped him back a bit in this pack, but we're still clean and green, as here comes the Dylan Pote machine down to the bottom. Didn't take long for the points leader to find his way up here to the front, as Chambers is now in the wall there in the 43. But Dylan Poteet there running the 78's patriotic scheme there. Oh, he slides up through that corner. That was close. He's got Hayden Klein right behind him. First time this season we've seen Hayden Klein in the U.S. Marine scheme. That, of course, a scheme that Denny Hamlin drove back in 2007. Of course, pulling out all the stops here for Memorial Day. Show our appreciation to the troops, and here comes Hayden Klein down to the bottom. Now Hayden Klein comes into this race doing really, really well in points. As a matter of fact, I believe he is second in rookie points, and he has just been doing a tremendous job tonight. Could be the night to put Joe Gibbs Racing on the board. Right behind him, there's another rookie. That is Joshua Michaels. Joshua Michaels in the 10. I think the caution may be out. For the first time tonight, I think the yellow may be out, and it is indeed. The yellow lights are on. Caution is out here on lap number 9 of 60. First caution of the night in the Coke 600, and Joshua Michaels is going to lead us under that yellow flag. Well, there's smoke in turns 1 and 2, and Matthew Rodriguez is part of it. The patriotic red, white, and blue Fun Dip machine is involved. There's more drivers. Trent Dunham driving the new patriotic scheme there. The Knuckles Sega Chevrolet there. That's a tough break for him. Right behind him there's the patriotic scheme of Dylan Young. He's involved. Zach Campbell there in the Super B Dodge has gotten a piece of it. So anybody else? Oh yeah, both the two of the Everham cars were involved. There is the Alex DeMarco machine. George Roque in the 55. I think he had some damage there. Kyle Sosnowski may have been involved. I don't know for certain. And the caution is out. Trying to look here. Looks like everybody is good to go as far as damage. Everybody appears to be okay. So they're all coming down making pit stops. Looks like everybody's in. So why don't we go to Joshua Michaels, who came down as the leader. Look at this. It's feeding time at the zoo. Everybody is in. Oh, contact back there between Ron Vajar and James Silverfox coming up here. Oh, Trent Whitney and Sean Henley made contact. Good grief. Utter chaos here. Everybody's just trying to find their way in. It looks like Hayden Klein, his team's going to get him out first. Joshua Michaels is going to be second. McLeod third. Poteet fourth. And Silverfox will get out in fifth. So Hayden Klein is going to be the leader when we go back to Green Flag Racing, but we got to look back at a replay of what put us under the yellow for the first time tonight in the Coke 600. Well, the wreck actually took place just about at the entrance to turn number 1, but it starts here, coming out of turn 4. Matt Rod going to hook Eric Burton down into the grass, and as both those drivers are trying to continue on, they got to find some way to be able to merge with the rest of the field. And right here, when they come down to the entrance of this dog leg, this is not a good place to merge. And right there, Zach Campbell's going to hook the 14 up into Dylan Young, who had absolutely nothing to do with that wreck. George Roque going to get caught up behind this. Jake Rogers going to get clipped there in the Dr. Pepper Toyota, but I think he's able to hang on to it. Oh, maybe not. No, he did get the outside retain. Well, Jake Cole's going to get a piece of it right there. Chris Dollerton was in it. George Roque goes around right up in front of Kyle Sosnowski. There was another driver involved there. Oh, that was the Alex DeMarco machine. Oh, Charles Jackson. I think he did get a little piece of the right rear of Kyle Sosnowski's machine. Oh, and Michael Norman may have gotten involved. I think he did too. Just drivers trying to get down to the bottom, but they carry so much momentum into the turns, there's nowhere for them to go. And there's Trent Dunham. His car already smoking. Who did he hit? Oh, right there. If you can see through the smoke, he's going to get a piece of the front of Zach Campbell right there. And I think that was enough right there. Yep, that was enough to cause the smoke to start coming out. Then he gets hit in the side by Michael Norman and Trent Dunham. That's a tough break for him. Dunham nearly got through that wreck, and his day is done. A few other drivers are going to be back behind the wall as well. Pretty early end to the night for quite a few drivers here in the Coke 600. We're going to take another commercial break, and then we'll be right back for the restart.
I am a United States sailor.
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America.
And I will obey the orders of those appointed over me.
I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me.
To defend freedom and democracy around the world.
I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team.
With honor, courage, and commitment.
I am committed to excellence
and the fair treatment of all.
We are America's Navy.
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing here on lap 14 of 60. This is the running of the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the season and the most tribute to the troops, patriotic-oriented race of the season. Hayden Klein representing those troops. He's out in front in the U.S. Marines Toyota. He'll lead us under this restart. Joshua Michaels currently is in second. Third is James McLeod. Dylan Poteet is fourth. And fifth is James Silverfox. Mary Cole up to sixth. Seventh is Pichu London. Eighth place is Tim Walsh. Ninth, Richard Johnson. And Trent Whitney completes the top 10. Ralph Mason will be 11th. 12th is Cole Daly. Wider Savotas 13th. 14th, Sean Galligan. And 15th is Austin Ogo. Danny Wells runs in 16th. 17th, John Cittadino. 18th is Anthony McCurry. Eric Burton 19th. And 20th is the pole sitter Callum Wales. 21st is Rohit Vidarvu, 22nd Jacob Lawler, 23rd is Adam Chambers, 24th is Ron Vajara with Aaron Williams Jr. 25th, 26th Jordan Davis, Charles Jackson in 27th, 28th Sean Henley, 29th Barney Ward, and Michael Norman runs in the 30th position. Let's take a look, see what drivers we have out of this race. Doesn't look like there's going to be any lap cars lined up on the inside line. Drivers out are Trent Dunham, Dylan Young, and Zach Campbell. 3 DNFs so far in this event. As here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We're almost a fourth of the way through this race as the green flag comes back out for Hayden Klein. This is going to hurt two drivers in particular, Dylan Young and Trent Dunham, both of whom have slipped out of the top 10 in points, and we're looking tonight to use Charlotte as a springboard to get themselves back inside the top 10 in the standings. As right now we got a battle for the lead. Joshua Michaels, nice move there on the back straightaway. He will lead out of turn number 4. And here come the three Tweenix Racing cars. McLeod, Poteet, and Mary Cole all lined up on that low line. So far this season, the only Tweenix Racing car to win is James McLeod, and he has 2 wins under his belt. Poteet, Mary Cole, Sean Henley, the defending champ, all still looking for their first points-paying win of the season. It could happen tonight as Tweenix is up here with a flurry at this particular moment, but Michael Waltrip Racing starting to come up here as well. Pichu London there in the 26, right behind him, his teammate in the 56, Tim Walsh. James McLeod almost got the wall there out of turn 2 again. Wouldn't have been the first time tonight. Now a battle between teammates for Tweenix Racing. Poteet up high, Mary Cole down low. As a matter of fact, every one of the Tweenix cars are doing well in the point standings as well, with the exception of Sean Henley, who's been having a difficult time mired down 26, and I think we got a caution. We do. Second time tonight, caution is out. Boy, it just took getting that first caution for us to now start having the cautions breed cautions thing. That looked like there was smoke out of turn number 4 and down almost to the start-finish line. Mary Cole's going to be the leader under the yellow. And the caution this time is, looks like it's going to be for Jacob Lawler. 9th in the points, Jacob Lawler, the Napa Filters Toyota on pit road. Matthew Rodriguez may have had something to do with it as well, as he is also on pit road. Second caution of the night, looks like it involved Jacob Lawler. Let's take a look at a replay. Take a look at it coming out of turn number 4, 3 wide between Barney Ward, Sean Henley, and Jacob Lawler. And I think they're just not going to give each other quite enough room. Yeah, Lawler, I think he just didn't have the right line. He goes up into the wall. Henley gets clipped. He gets a piece of that yellow outside retaining wall as well. Fortunately, when he brings it down, he didn't turn Barney Ward up into the wall, or else that could have been drastic. I think Henley may go up. Yeah, he gets the wall a second time, does Henley. Just trying to hang on to that thing, and Lawler goes around. Fortunately, though, that was pretty close to the rear of the field, so nobody ended up coming up and hitting the 15. So we could safely say a two-car incident on the front straightaway could have been a lot worse, but fortunately, that was not the case. Yellow waves for the second time tonight. Doesn't look like drivers are going to make pit stops, and so we are going to... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe somebody does get Lawler, and maybe Matt Rod. Nope, guess not. But the caution's out for the second time tonight. We're going to go back to the restart right after this commercial break.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Getting ready to go back to green. It'll be on lap 21 of 60, giving us a total of 40 laps to go in tonight's long event. Mary Cole out in front. Her teammate, Dylan Poteet, in second. Pichu London now third. Fourth is James McLeod. And Hayden Klein has slipped back to fifth. Ralph Mason's now up to sixth. Seventh, Trent Whitney. Eighth is now Danny Wells. He's been quickly moving his way up through the field. Sean Galligan currently runs in ninth. And Anthony McCurry is going to complete the top 10. Let's go further back here. Richard Johnson 11th, 12th is Rohit Vidarvu. Aaron Williams Jr. runs 13th, 14th Jordan Davis, and 15th is Ron Vajara. Charles Jackson is 16th, Derek Reed 17th, Jake Rogers in 18th, 19th is Jake Cole, and Joshua Michaels is now all the way back to the 20th position. Tim Walsh is in 21st, 22nd George Roque, 23rd is Cole Daly rather. 24th is Wido Savotas with Eric Burton in 25th. 26th is Callum Wales, Austin Ogo 27th, Adam Chambers 28th, Barney Ward 29th, and Michael Norman 30th. 31st, Kyle Sosnowski, his teammate, Emilio Navarrete, is 32nd. Alex DeMarco 33rd, Chris Dollichin 34th, Jacob Lawler 35th. 36th is James Silverfox, Matthew Rodriguez is in 37th. 38th, John Cittadino, and Sean Henley is 39th. Only 3 cars still out of the race. They are the cars of Trent Dunham, Dylan Young, and Zach Campbell as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. And there's the green flag waving once more here on lap 21. Looks like everybody's going to remain single file heading into turn 1 here. Nobody wanting to step out of line yet. There goes Pichu London. He'll be the first one up front to make the move for second place on Dylan Poteet. Well, it doesn't look like that really worked out that well for him. He was not able to make the move, had to slide back in line, and now James McLeod's going to go to the bottom of Pichu London for third. Meanwhile, Dylan Poteet wants the lead back from Mary Cole. You know, a lot of people, they look at Dylan Poteet week in, week out to be the favorite, but the cold hard facts are that Dylan Poteet has now gone over a season and a half without a Snickers Cup Series win. He's consistent in that 78, but he does not have wins to follow it up. Tonight could be the night, but here comes his teammate, James McLeod, trying to become a 3-time winner in the Snickers Cup Series. That would tie him with Adam Chambers from last season for most wins in a single season by a Snickers Cup Series driver. And Poteet's got in the wall. Poteet's in the wall, and Poteet's around! Poteet spins it! He got turned on the back straightaway. Caution is out, I believe. Dylan Poteet, the points leader, just got turned around after hitting the wall at turn 2. Ralph Mason's going to lead at the line. Oh no, Dylan Poteet in the 78. Oh, and they're wrecking all over the place. Kyle Sosnowski, Chris Dollarton, Cole Daly second in points. Jake Cole, Sean Henley's in it. Austin Ogo's involved. Oh my, look at this. Whitney, Michael Norman, George Roque, Tim Walsh, Matthew Rodriguez, and there is Dylan Poteet. My goodness, this was a huge wreck. And it started with all drivers, the points leader. Oh, Alex DeMarco is in the grass, and oh, well, I remember this from last season, doing the moonwalk across the infield grass. Always everything to entertain the fans, and Alex DeMarco's going to do it here. Looks like he's going to try moonwalk in the other direction now. The fans are all giving Alex DeMarco a standing ovation right there. It looks like he's now done. Cole Daly gonna come off of pit road. That car doesn't even look like that's actually able to continue on. I think that car could get black flagged. But anyway, Aaron Williams Jr.'s on pit road. Wyatt Savotas. Looks like we got some pit stops going on here by some of the drivers who were not particularly up front. Oh, nope. Here comes the leaders. Ralph Mason, Pichu London, drag race off pit road with James McLeod. Whoa, that was close. 3 wide off pit road, and London beats Mason and McLeod off of pit road. That was great. That was a great battle off of pit road right there between those three. Pichu London's going to be the leader under the caution, but we're going to take a look at a replay. This is going to have heavy hitting circumstances in the points too, because drivers came in first and second in points were involved in this wreck. Yeah, watch this exit off of turn 2 by one Dylan Poteet. Right there, he's going to get the wall coming out of turn number 2. And he obviously knows he's got to get it off the wall there, or else he's going to end up having a tie rub or something. When he comes down and converges with the rest of the field, I think he's going to then come down and get clipped by his own teammate, Mary Cole. Down he comes then into the Trent Whitney machine. And wow, Dylan Poteet, that exit out of turn 2, that's going to really hurt him, because watch what happens here. His car is going to go sliding down the back straightaway. Trent Whitney trying to get dislodged from the 78. Both those drivers going to go down. Whitney, oh, Whitney, my goodness. Right on the corner of that inside safer barrier. That car got airborne for a moment, and then it's just going to get hectic. Both those cars going to slide right back up there in turn number 3, and it's not going to be pretty. Here comes everybody from about 23rd on back, just going to start coming into view here. And it's not going to be a pretty sight for either Whitney or Dylan Poteet to see all those drivers converging on them at high speeds. Here they all come here. You're going to see them right there. Avotas, Burton, Chambers, they get by. But here comes Tim Walsh. Nowhere to go. Michael Norman slides into it. Oh, Silver Fox, I think, got through. And so did Citadino. But there's Sosnowski, Ogo, Roke, Jake Cole. Watch Cole Daly. Oh, of all people, he hits the 78, the driver he was trying to run down for the points lead. Callum Wales, Dollarton, DeMarco, Lawler, Henley. Just all getting pieces of this. My word. And look at the carnage in turn number 3. And look at the front runners in this wreck too. I mean, good grief. You got drivers coming first and second in the points involved in this one. And Matthew Rodriguez, I don't think he even knew there was smoke. He just comes full speed and runs straight into the Chris Dollarton machine. We got to go on board with a few drivers, no doubt about it, because a few guys did a good job getting through that wreck. 2 of them were rookies in James Silverfox and John Citadino. Going on board first with the 42 of John Citadino. Look at that, just found the hole, went through it. What an amazing job by the rookie sensation of domination. And now on board with James Silverfox. Watch him, just by the skin of his teeth, get through this. Oh my goodness. Michael Norman just shot right in front of him, and what a close call that was for the 7 car. And now we're on board with our points leader coming into tonight, Dylan Poteet. Wow. That's some pretty hard impact right there for all of those drivers. And Dylan Poteet, Cole Daly, you saw them both right there. First and second in points. They are out of tonight's event. Let's step aside for another commercial break, and then we'll be right back for the green.
There are a few who
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Welcome back to the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the season. Pichu London in that 3-wide battle off pit road. He is going to be the leader. Second place is Ralph Mason. Third place will be Danny Wells. Fourth place rather is going to be Hayden Klein, with fifth place being Mary Cole. Sixth is going to be Jordan Davis. Seventh is going to be Richard Johnson. Rohit Vidarbhu 8th, 9th Sean Galligan, and Joshua Michaels in 10th. Someone's missing from up here. You may have noticed that James McLeod is not up here at the front. That's because he ended up coming off of pit road, and they found out there was something amiss on the 51 car. So he had to come back down pit road. They've torn the hood off of his HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. Don't know what exactly happened to the 51, but something did. He's also got some front-end damage there on his car. I don't know what the deal was, but James McLeod is going to start all the way back in the 27th position for this restart. Sean Henley, Austin Ogo, Cole Daly, they're going to be on the inside line. They are a lap down. Drivers out after this incident as we go back to green were Matthew Rodriguez, Alex DeMarco, the points leader Dylan Poteet, as well as Tim Walsh, Trent Whitney, George Roque, Jake Cole, Kyle Sosnowski, and our All-Star Race winner, Michael Norman. Green flag comes back out here on lap number 28 of 60. Those slower lap cars are going to have to be contended with. Hopefully that won't bring out another caution anytime soon, but then again, you never know. One guy who's got to be grinning from ear to ear right now has got to be the guy running currently in third place, Danny Wells. Came into this race a total of 9 points behind second in the standings Cole Daly and 32 points behind Dylan Poteet. Tonight, Danny Wells with a big opportunity to move up in the points to second in the standings and definitely cut into Dylan Poteet's lead. Dylan Poteet, as we're going to take a look at this battle for the lead, I'm just going to quickly work the calculator here. Dylan Poteet retiring from this race in the 33rd position. In order for Danny Wells to pass Dylan Poteet in the standings, he would have to basically win tonight. If Danny Wells does not pick up his second win of the season here tonight at Charlotte, he will not be the points leader heading into next week. However, if he does pick up the lead and the win tonight, then Danny Wells will be the new points leader heading into next week, as it's become a 4-car breakaway here. Danny Wells, Hayden Klein, Pichu London, and Ralph Mason. Then it's quite a ways back before you get to this battle for fifth between Richard Johnson, Sean Galligan, and Anthony McCurry. You gotta think that probably those slower lap cars played into this. Don't know for certain. Keep in mind, too, these drivers, they were last on pit road after this caution flag, but I have a feeling they're going to have to come back down pit road at some point if this thing does go into a long green flag run, as Hayden Klein is currently out in front, leading the way in the Marines Toyota Camry. I just love that paint scheme. That paint scheme is so, so cool. Battle on for second, Pichu London. Pretty much right now, he's the only representative for Michael Waltrip Racing. We've seen Lawler have problems, Jake Cole, Tim Walsh, they've had problems tonight. Pichu London currently the only MWR car that is actually doing well here this evening. Meanwhile, right behind him, how about Ralph Mason? He didn't leave the All-Star Race weekend empty-handed. He not only ended up winning the Snickers Showdown to get himself into the All-Star Race, but then he also won the Molman Cup Series All-Star Race in that series. So Ralph Mason's got himself quite a bit of momentum right now. Mason comes into this race 40th in points. That Nemco Motorsports team has not been able to get their program going. But it's the second half of the season, and you could see Ralph Mason be making the moves necessary to maybe get himself into his second straight chase for the championship. Meanwhile, Pichu London going to go back to the lead. We got 3 Toyotas, 1 Chevrolet right now. Danny Wells must feel like the odd man out. He's being ganged up on here by 3 Camrys. See how the 5th place on back is doing. There's Anthony McCurry, who's now taken the 5th position. White Savotas right behind him. Look at this, more Toyotas. So right now, I believe 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th are comprised of Toyotas. As we saw both McCurry and White Savotas get the wall out of that corner. Comes Barney Ward down to the bottom. Barney Ward's had his fair share of problems today. Not that he's been involved in any wrecks, but he's been right in the middle of them and somehow been able to squeak his way through. Barney Ward ended up avoiding that big pileup that took place out of turn number 4 earlier on tonight. He also ended up having Sean Henley bounce off of him coming out of turn 4. He held onto his car then. Oh, one car went through the grass area there. That might have been Vedaravu. He held on to it, though, as he's side by side right now for the 19th position with Ron Vajara. A few drivers back here we haven't talked about tonight. How about Derek Reed there in the 13? Derek Reed did a pretty good job over in the All-Star race for the Snickers Cup Series. Former winner this season. Currently is running... well, I'm looking at the points right now and I can't see the name. There it is, 23rd in points. Currently is Derek Reed. And how about back here, back in 21st position, he's just been kind of riding around right now, is Aaron Williams Jr., maybe just biding his time. It's the first time in a Wreckfest we really haven't seen Aaron Williams Jr. get involved. That car looks completely clean. Well, he just got the wall out of turn number 4. Maybe it's not as clean as I suspected it was originally, but he still is running up inside the top 20. So this is a good night right now so far for him. Oh, they're going to go 4 wide out of this corner. Oh, they kept it 3 wide, but they almost went 4 wide with Galligan, Avotas, Callum Wales, and Derek Reed, and that would not have been good. They're 3 wide up ahead. Joshua Michaels, Anthony McCurry, Eric Burton, and there they go in the wall. Save it! Please save it! No, they didn't! Oh, Chambers is around, Burton is around, and it's melee. It's a melee. It's a big pileup on the front straightaway. Derek Reed is involved. Rohit Vedaravu, Ram Vajara, Charles Jackson, Waidos Avotas. There's McCurry and Eric Burton, Mary Cole, Jordan Davis, Jacob Lawler. They almost had it held on to and just couldn't quite do it. As the leader at the stripe that time was Hayden Klein. And I believe Jake Rogers just barely beat them out at the line. He will still be on the tail end of the lead lap. Oh, someone spun on the back straightaway. And it might have been Anthony McCurry and Jordan Davis. But they've got more damage on their race cars. There's drivers coming down pit road. Let's stay here, see if we're going to have pit stops done here by the leaders. Hayden Klein, Pichu London, Danny Wells, Ralph Mason, and Richard Johnson, the top 5. Oh, looks like also Emilio Navarrete was involved in that. Austin Ogo's on pit road with damage. So this wreck ended up involving quite a few more drivers than we originally expected. Cole Daly, I believe he's back on pit road. Let's see what the strategy is going to be here on the 11 team. Going for right sides right now. Let's see if they're going to go with a 4-tire stop or 2. Pichu London's already off pit road. He's coming down. Here comes Hayden Klein. We're going to have another drag race? Nope, not quite. Hayden Klein was just able to get out about a car length ahead of Pichu London. He will be the leader at the stripe. Coming off of pit road, it's going to be Hayden Klein, then Pichu London. I believe third off is going to be Danny Wells. Fourth is going to be his teammate, Barney Ward. And then look at that drag race for 5th. I think Richard Johnson just barely got it. 6th, John Citadino, Ralph Mason 7th, 8th, James Silverfox, Joshua Michaels 9th, and Eric Burton's going to be 10th. So we're going to take a look now at a replay of our latest caution. This one was a big one, and it happened just about mid-pack. Well, we practically saw this one happen. They went 3 wide out of this corner, and 99 is just going to get squeezed up into the wall, and the 61 gets clipped up into the wall as well. I was hoping they were going to be able to save it, but McCurry's car turned a dead left, came down into Adam Chambers, and it was just basically on from there. Watch here, there's just nowhere for any of these guys to go. Sean Galligan, he's going to get a piece of it there in the 21. Derek Reed, Waidos Avotas, nowhere for any of those guys to go. Look at Callum Wales and James Silverfox. Nice miss by both those drivers. There's Chambers around back there. There's Jordan Davis, Mary Cole, Rohit Vedaravu. Oh man, Adam Chambers went airborne after he got nailed by Ron Vajara. Charles Jackson trying to slow up. I think Jackson may have held up in time. Oh, nope, he didn't. Nope, he hit Waidos Avotas. But I think Aaron Williams Jr. actually didn't hit anybody. I think he slowed up in time. Right there, that red car right behind the yellow cars of Charles Jackson and Ron Bajara Jr. I think he didn't get any damage whatsoever. And then also, I believe on the back straightaway, it was Anthony McCurry who got spun around. But we are going to go to another commercial break. Oh, wait a minute. Got more drivers coming into view here. Yep, there you go. Emilio Navarrete. That's where he got his damage. Just jacked up the 16 of Jordan Davis. And Davis goes up into the wall there. And that's how Emilio Navarrete ends up getting his damage. Just runs straight into the back of the stalled out 16. It's a tough break for Navarrete right there. And the caution is out one more time. We're about 20 laps away from the end of this race. We're going to step aside for yet another commercial break. Then we'll come back for the green flag and tally everything up.
There's strong, and then there's Army strong. It is not just the strength to obey, but the strength to command. Not just strength in numbers, the strength of brothers. Not just the strength to lift, the strength to raise. Not just the strength to get yourself over, the strength to get over yourself. It's more than physical strength. It is emotional strength. There is nothing on this green earth stronger than the U.S. Army, because there is nothing on this green earth stronger than a U.S. Army soldier. There's strong, and then there's Army strong. Find out more at GoArmy.
Get ready to go back to green flag racing. Quite an unusual jumble that went on during that commercial break, and I myself am not quite certain what exactly happened. But Danny Wells is currently the leader now, with his teammate Barney Ward in second. Third place is going to be Hayden Klein. Fourth place, Pichu London. Fifth is Richard Johnson. Sixth is John Cittadino. Seventh, Ralph Mason. Eighth is James Silverfox. Ninth, Joshua Michaels. And Eric Burton is in 10th. Avotas is in 11th. Chambers 12th, 13th is Jackson, 14th is Callum Wales, 15th Mary Cole, 16th Ron Vajara, and 17th is Sean Galligan. Now they're listing Aaron Williams Jr. as a lap down in the 18th position, along with Derek Reed, Jacob Lawler, James McLeod, Chris Dollerton, Jake Rogers, and Anthony McCrory. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with that. Cole Daly's also listed 2 laps down, but I don't understand what this is all about, but I don't know. I just don't know. Green flag comes back out here. Sean Henley is also 2 laps down. Drivers out after this incident were Rohit Vidaravu, Jordan Davis, and Emilio Navarrete. As Danny Wells is going to clear Aaron Williams Jr., who is obviously up to speed, but he did go a lap down to the leaders. I don't know what the deal was. But RCR currently runs 1-2 with Danny Wells and Barney Ward out in front. Hayden Klein now side by side with the lap car of Aaron Williams Jr. Aaron Williams Jr., he's trying to get back up here to get back on the tail end of the lead lap if a caution comes out. Meanwhile, Barney Ward now going to try to go for the lead for the first time tonight in the Coca-Cola 600. Here he comes, diving down low on his teammate Danny Wells. Can he get the run off of turn 4? Danny Wells trying to get the outside line going. I think he's going to keep the lead for at least this lap, but Barney Ward is there. Barney Ward into the lead. Danny Wells slips up. Here comes Hayden Klein. He'll take second. Now has set sights on the lead. And I got the phone ringing here, and I'm not exactly sure why. Hayden Klein looking for the top spot here. And it looks like I'm going to have to quickly step aside to answer this phone call. We're back. Sorry about that. Oh, someone got the wall back there. James Silverfox as well as Aaron Williams Jr. And oh, Barney Ward. Man, his teammate Danny Wells didn't give him a whole lot of room to be able to get back in line there. That could have been drastic. Almost of what have happened to Dylan Poteet. If you're just joining us, we are going to have ourselves quite a point shakeup after this evening's race. Dylan Poteet, who came in the points leader, Cole Daly, who came in second. They've had their fair share of problems tonight. Dylan Poteet is out of the race. Cole Daly is currently caught 2 laps down to the leaders. Currently running back, I believe, in the 21st position. The only drivers that I'm seeing that are doing really well are 3rd, 4th, 5th in points. Danny Wells, John Cittadino, and Hayden Klein. They're all up inside the top 10 right now. Richard Johnson, the current leader now, trying to pick up his 2nd win of the season for that 4017, but here comes another Toyota down to the bottom. That is Ralph Mason, and I think the dark horse in all this could be that neon green GoDaddy.com Chevrolet, Joshua Michaels. He has been steadily keeping himself out of trouble, keeping himself here at the front. Joshua Michaels could be the one guy that people are not looking at to win this thing, who could just out of nowhere all of a sudden take the checkered flag here. I mean, take a look at some of these rookies up here that have been doing a great job as far as endurance here tonight. Michaels, Hayden Klein, John Cittadino, and James Silverfox. One of those 4 could just as easily be the winner tonight as any of these veterans in this field. And oh my goodness, they're close out this corner. Oh, don't squeeze each other. They did. Richard Johnson's around with Ralph Mason. Oh, Aaron Woods Jr. just plowed into Ralph Mason. Oh man, Callum Wales nearly hit him. Oh, Wales did hit him. Galligan is in it. McLeod, Eric Burton, and it's another pile up here on the front straightaway. McCrory is around. Cole Daly is in it. Austin Ogo. There's so much smoke, I can't even tell who the other drivers are. Jake Rogers is one of them. Mary Cole in it. There is Adam Chambers. Sean Henley. And oh man, Richard Johnson just got nailed by Derek Reed. Oh my goodness. Chris Dollerton was in that. And the leader under the caution flag, who was it? Where's the leader? Is it Pichu London? Has the scoreboard just not refreshed itself? Oh no, it was Joshua Michaels. He must have been ahead of the pace car there. Joshua Michaels is the leader under the caution flag. We've got 9 laps to go tonight. And another huge wreck here in the closing stage is going to take out even more players, including Ralph Mason and Richard Johnson, who were up inside the top 5. We've been seeing it all night long, and just because you try it at a different point in time doesn't mean it's going to work out differently. Right here, Pichu London gets a little loose coming off this corner, goes up into the Richard Johnson machine. Ralph Mason is there on the high side. And watch this, they just don't give each other any room off of turn 4. Mason going to get the wall. Johnson's going to get clipped. This is about the 3rd time tonight we've seen this. And the worst part about this is the way that the track is built on the front straightaway. Those cars are going to shoot right back up into the racing line, and it's going to involve more drivers. As there you see Richard Johnson, Ralph Mason both into the wall, and it doesn't end here. Would have been nice if it had ended here, but watch the left side of your screen. Aaron Williams Jr. coming into view. He is just going to nail the 87 of Ralph Mason. Hard into the outside retaining wall goes the drive to end Hunger Chevrolet of Aaron Williams Jr. That's a tough break for him. He was running up inside of the top 20, even though he was a lap down. Here comes Eric Burton trying to whoa up. Can't do it. Hard impact with the left front there. Here comes Callum Wales. Straight into him, down right in front of the lane of Sean Galligan. There's James McLeod. He's going to T-bone Galligan's machine. Look at Dollerton, slipping, sliding, trying to find some place, can't do it. He hits head on into the 24, and then everybody behind him just starts backing up. Cole Daly gets spun around. Anthony McCurry gets spun. I mean, my gosh, look at the 51 of McLeod up and onto its side before landing on all 4 wheels. Comes Adam Chambers and Mary Cole on the high side there. They're going to both run into the back of Chris Dollerton. Just another pile up here on the front straightaway, and more good cars taken out. There's Jake Rogers also going to come into view there. You just barely see his gray car through the smoke. I think he's going to run to the back of Jake Rogers, but my goodness. Complete and utter carnage just continuing to happen here. We are past the 10 to go mark. We're going to step aside for our final commercial break, and then we'll come back for the finish of tonight's event.
There will be a seat left open, a light left on,
a favorite dinner waiting, a warm bed made. There will be walks to take, swings to push, and baths to give. On your block, at the school, in your church, because in your home, in our hearts, you've been missed. You've been needed. You've been cried for, prayed for. You've been the reason we push on. Half the battle is just knowing this is half the battle. Because when you're home, we're more than a family. We are a nation that is whole again.
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. The leader is Joshua Michaels here with a total of 6 to go when we get the green flag. Hopefully we will race green flag to the checkers. If the caution comes out at any point after this, I believe the race will end under the yellow. Rookie Joshua Michaels trying to pick up his first career NNSCRA victory. It could come here tonight in the longest race of the season, the Coke 600. Behind him, Pichu London lined up there in second. Danny Wells, third in points. I don't think he'll be there after tonight, but he is in the third position. Fourth is Hayden Klein. And John Cittadino, two-time winner, has now worked his way up into the top 5. Barney Ward is in 6th. 7th is James Silverfox. 8th place is Waidos Avotas. 9th place is going to be Ron Vajara. What a nice run for him tonight. And Charles Jackson is currently in 10th. 1 lap down in 11th was James McLeod. 12th place, a lap down, is Jacob Lawler. 13th, also a lap down, is Anthony McCurry. 14th place is going to be, I believe, is going to be Austin Ogo. And 15th is going to be Sean Henley when we get the green flag. Here we go. Anybody who wasn't listed has DNF'd from tonight's event. Green flag is out. 15 cars left, 10 of them on the lead lap. Here we go. Pichu London goes down to the bottom looking for the lead. With those slower lap cars in this field, these drivers may be wanting to get up to the front as quickly as possible in case a caution does come out. They're going to want to be out in front, but we're still green flag racing here. London the leader. Michaels wants the lead back, though. He's been up front too long to give it up now. He's going back to the bottom. Danny Wells right there behind him. John Cittadino waiting to see which line opens up for him as it's a 7-car breakaway here at the front of the field. James McLeod, I think, did not get a good restart, and that held up other drivers back there who are running well in the top 10, such as Charles Jackson. But here comes Danny Wells. Danny Wells wants to get the points lead. Remember, where Dylan Poteet finished tonight, in order for Danny Wells to take the points lead heading next week, he has to win tonight. It's that, or else he's still going to be second in standings. Danny Wells going to the front. He wants to pick up his second win of the season here in the Snickers Cup Series, and he wants to do it tonight in the longest race of the year. Joshua Michaels second. Here comes James Silverfox and John Cittadino. Look at the rookies up here again. It's a 4-to-3 ratio in favor of rookies right now as Danny Wells got the wall. Wells got the wall, and Michaels is by for the lead with 3 laps to go. These are basically the guys who are going to settle it out here, folks. Michaels, Silverfox, Ward, his teammate Danny Wells, Cittadino, London, and Hayden Klein. Those are the 7 that are going to decide the win in tonight's event. Joshua Michaels still out in front, trying to pick up the second win of the season for Stewart Haas Racing, the first of his NNSCRA career. 2 laps to go as Michaels hits the stripe. He's got about a car length advantage over new second place driver now, Barney Ward. Can Michaels hang on to it for about 1 3/4 more laps? Barney Ward got a good run off of turn 2 there. Here he comes, diving it down to the bottom. Barney Ward going to the lead. He's got it. Here he comes. Hayden Klein going to look 3 wide. Oh, don't squeeze each other. Please. No, not now. They aren't. White flag in the air. Michaels, Ward, Hayden Klein, 3 wide for the lead. This is great. Hayden Klein down to the bottom. Barney Ward in the middle. Michaels rim riding. Here comes Danny Wells as Michaels gets the wall in turn number 1. Oops, I ended up hitting the wrong button there. Meanwhile, Hayden Klein side by side with Barney Ward. This is for the lead, possibly for the win. Hayden Klein down on the bottom. Here comes Danny Wells on the inside of Pete London and Barney Ward. Off turn 4 for the final time. Ward gets the wall. Hayden Klein for the U.S. Marines wins the Coke 600. Another rookie goes to victory lane. This time, Joe Gibbs Racing's rookie driver, Hayden Klein. And what a tribute to the U.S. Marines of victory tonight for Hayden Klein, his first career Snickers Cup Series victory, and it comes here in the longest race of the season. Hayden Klein comes into this race 5th in points, 2nd in rookie points. What a job he has done to get himself on the right track to make the chase this season. Wow, that was great. That was an unbelievable race, and it came down to 7 drivers at the end, and rookie Hayden Klein gets the job done. We'll take a look at the top 10. Whoever finished in the top 10, they really deserved it. Danny Wells going to finish in 2nd. He was oh so close to pick up his 2nd win of the season and capturing the points lead. Not quite going to be able to do it. He'll finish with a runner-up. Barney Ward. I mean, look at the drivers here that are doing well in points, how they finished tonight. Hayden Klein comes in 5th in points, he wins. Danny Wells comes in 3rd in points, he gets 2nd. Barney Ward comes in 8th in points, he'll get 3rd. Pete London comes in 19th in points, a great 4th place finish for him. John Cinedino, 2-time winner, comes in 4th in points, he gets 5th. Joshua Michaels, man, he was so close, but he ended up getting the wall at one point there. That ended up losing it for him, but he's going to get 6th, a great run for him tonight. James Silverfox, 12th in points. He's going to finish the night in 7th place. Widos of Otas, what a great run for him. 38th in points, a nice finish in 8th for him. Charles Jackson going to finish in 9th this evening as he came in 27th in points. And Ron Vajara, he's putting together some really good runs right now. He's moved his way up to 25th in points and another top 10 finish here tonight. Take a look at this, guys. I just noticed. Joe Gibbs Racing, haven't heard a lot of them here this season, but they finished all inside the top 10. 1st, 8th, and 9th for all 3 of the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers. What a statement they made here tonight. Hayden Klein gets it done tonight. His first career NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series victory, and it comes here tonight in the Coca-Cola 600. For those of you that stuck with us for this entire race, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become a part of the crew today. The point standings certainly are going to be shooken up when we head to next week. My memory's failing me as of right now where we're going to head. Actually, I can tell you right 1 minute where we are going to be heading next. We are actually going to be heading for our 15th race of the season to Dover. So we're going to be having kind of a short track thing going on next week where trucks, mobile, and Snickers will be heading. Here comes your official finishing results for tonight's absolutely incredible race and your overall point standings as well as your rookie points. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. Bye, everybody. Bye.